over the course of our hearings, a topic has come up several times, and we're just trying to get some clarity. In late 2018, Governor Wolf accepted a $10 million grant for over 3 years from Bloomberg Philanthropies. And yesterday, in discussions with Dept Secretary Smith, she told us that those monies would be utilized to, it wouldn't be so much monies coming into the Commonwealth, so it wasn't a budgetary concern, but the grant essentially would be take the form of employees embedded into our DDAP system to help assess and develop data systems, something to that effect. Seeing that you are pretty much the central warehouse for everything HR, we just had some concerns about, is that something that needs approval from you? Is there any type of precedent on this? Concerns always are, as far as security, legal, those are the major concerns. But also, it has nothing to do with specifically Bloomberg, but any third party that has some type of agenda, there is concerns about bringing them in. So I was wondering if you could enlighten us anything on that. Is there an approval process, or is there any precedent in this regard?
I must apologize. I'm not familiar with that.
And it hasn't happened yet. But has it ever happened? Anything like that ever happened in the past?
Not that we.
So there's no precedent set. And as far as security, is that a concern? A third? Do we have issues like that where there's outside employees of another organization coming in? Doesn't that?
So you're talking about contractors that are doing business on behalf of the Commonwealth?
They're not so much contractors as much as embedded employees that a third party has to help. They're giving them to us. We're not paying for them.
Well, I can say this. Anytime we have anyone coming into we obviously have many consultants and others in our workplace. The same security. In fact, there's so much security just around me. I'm trying to get things done, and there's so many times that I have to go to these guys to get special dispensation so I can actually get through some of these things. So I can only imagine that someone else coming in would have to go through a great deal of scrutiny in order to be part of our workplace.
And truly, so if somebody's doing work on behalf of the Commonwealth, if they're touching data, for instance, so we have required policies in relation to background checks and contracts that have specific language in it regarding cybersecurity, depending on what they're doing and what kind of data that the person that's doing that work is handling or has access to. So we take cybersecurity very seriously when it comes to anybody doing work on behalf of the Commonwealth. Sure.
So you can extend that further than just, because it wouldn't be a state employee. It would be a.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, and whether it's a partner agreement, so there's legal language, there's contracts, and background checks, depending on the type. There's regulatory compliance requirements around background checks for handling certain types of data. So it really depends on what they're doing. But yes, we have those checks and balances in place.
Okay.
From the HR side as well, as was stated, we have contractors that do work in the Commonwealth. They go through training, sexual harassment trainings, all the trainings that we would put employees through so they understand what it means to work in the Commonwealth and operate in our environment.
And that's a great point. So, for instance, we require all of our Commonwealth employees and contractors to annually and regularly take cybersecurity awareness training. That is required for those people. So anybody outside the system that's accessing Commonwealth resources would have to also take that same training that's required of all of our employees and contractors.